This person is so important to me. Wait a second. I gotta pretend and bring on the waterworks so it means something. The person I choose to be in the house is Matthew.
What is Ashley on elimination night?
You got that, my brother?
Tell me something. Welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today we're going to be talking about TV One's reality-based TV series, The One, season number 1, episode number 12.
But before we get into it, please like, share, and subscribe. Please click that notification button and that like button because it helps us in the algorithm. Please send us your comments, and we appreciate and thank you for your support.
This episode began with Kirk meeting with all of the residents inside the mansion to let them know what the assignment was going to be for the week.
And Kurt came through and said they looked like some Negro friends, which was funny to me. He let the cast know that Tammy was not there because their daughter was expecting her second child and Tammy went to be with her. So,
Great news for the Franklin family, yeah?
yes.
Absolutely.
Particularly after they showed pictures of that little munchkin. Beautiful baby, beautiful family.
Absolutely.
Kurt directed the group that they have to focus on the children.
Yeah, as part of that process, if you're considering somebody who has children, then you have to understand that you have to have some kind of rapport and or relationship with their son or daughter, and that there's an integral part of that needs to be developed in terms of a relationship, right?
So Matthew came through to Ashley's room to find out whether she wanted to meet his child. Ashley seemed like the the prospect of meeting Matthew's child was is a scary thing. I have no idea why, because she's dealing with a man who has a child. He's on a show to find the one. I don't understand his sister. I don't think she understands herself either. But I guess it had you scratching your two-tone knock.
What you call me?
Two-tone?
Y'all see how wifey doing me, y'all?
We've seen her wrapped up and locked up in dark rooms with Matthew,
Hmm.
and all of a sudden, she can't meet Matthew's child.
Yeah, she commented that maybe in the future, but now is not the right time. A true indicator of where she is and where she is not.
Why can't she pretend to meet a child? Because a child will sniff out who is pretending and who is not. You have consistently claimed that you have a connection with him. So what's the hesitancy now about meeting his child?
Right.
It did show us that Ashley is all about being pretensive.
It's certainly scurred. No question about that.
Scared or immature.
Um, Scurred and immature.
Oh, okay. So it's a twofer.
Yep. The other side of that equation was Brent and how he had to meet Ashley's son. Now her
Yes.
son was a teenager in his, I think,
15.
mid-teens. Yeah, 15,
Yes.
somewhere thereabouts.
Handsome young man.
Right, well-spoken, intelligent, articulate young man, and it was easy to for me to pick up on, how protective he was of his mother, rightfully so,
Mhm.
and how much of a really good job it seems like Ashley had done in raising this young man. He seemed like he was well grounded. He was looking out for his mother, but also, open to the possibility of someone connecting with his mother. And
Right.
that's mature for a 15-year-old,
Right.
you know?
In the old country, I remember back in the day that one guy was coming to the house to meet my older sister.
Mm.
And my mother laid eyes on him once, and then the second time he showed up, we're watching television. The guy is talking to my sister,
He snatched
and
it.
she just snatched the
Snatched it.
dining room chair, spin it around, and sat down. And she looked at the guy and said, I see you been coming up in here. What is your intention with my daughter?
I know he was shook. As they say in the DMV, she wasn't playing.
Not even.
She was playing.
So the young man had the same sort of language conversation, and that was a trigger. I don't think the dude ever came back to him.
I don't. I would be willing to bet that too. Bet all the money in my wallet. That brother never made a reappearance. Brent says he's enjoyed the opportunity to get to know his mother, Ashley, and that he was looking forward to continuing to do that and to, in an effort to find out, who the one is for him, his lifelong partner that he can be married to and have a family with.
Well, that was a good answer. Then we see Melissa. Melissa pulled off that wig and she was rocking the natural.
Totally different look.
But she looked beautiful. She's a beautiful woman anyway.
Absolutely, but I almost didn't recognize her because I'm accustomed to seeing that wig hat on.
She brought her baby to meet Brent, and her
Mm,
baby's name is Mello.
mellow, yes,
Mello,
was anything but mellow. He
and
was active.
because Mello, 4 years old, is as cute as he can be, but he got some
He
energy.
high energy, boy. That little boy right there, boy.
And he's a smart little child too.
Absolutely, he
Brent
Brent kind of
peeped
peeped
that,
that. Yeah,
and he said in his confessional that it's different dealing with a 15-year-old than
a
a
4 year
4-year-old.
old.
And I don't think Brent has that skill set how yet to talk to someone who's 4 years old. And while he tried to engage Mello with them racing
Down the hallway,
down the
right,
hallway, which
right,
was cute,
right.
you could see he felt a little more comfortable dealing with the teenager than this little cutie pie.
Translation: he wasn't up for all of that work that's gonna
So
be.
gonna need some energy, gonna need a whole lot of patience. Ashley meets with Steve,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, Ashley ain't feeling Steve. She may say whatever she likes, but Steve, he knows the game, so he shows up with flowers. She smiles, oh
Mm-hmm.
thank you. She grins.
Mm-hmm.
The joy she gets from the flowers is who's bringing it to her, and that joy never reached her eyes. She gives that pageant smile, and then she shuts off.
Okay.
But you can see that she's pretending.
And I think that Steve in his confessionals senses that. He realizes
Yes,
that. Okay.
yes.
And he's not up for it, even though he's contradicting himself later on in the conversation by saying, "Hey, look, as this process continues to go to go on day by day, I'm feeling more and more connected to you day by day." And I'm like, "Well, wait a minute. How
How
does
are you
that work?"
feeling connected to her when you know she's
Right.
pretending?
Right.
Basically, she has friend zoned him, which he told her she did
Right.
in week two.
Hmm. She wants us to believe as viewers that both things can be, true at the same time.
Oh, girl, please.
Stop that. So the three women who are in competition for Brent's affection and the three men who are in competition for Ashley's affection got an opportunity to meet with a jeweler to kind of pick out some rings that uh, either side felt would represent the best sentiments of who,
His personality.
right, either Brent is or either who Ashley is. And it was formed as a competition. It was built as a competition with the winner of that competition winning an actual dinner date.
We see them choose rings,
Hmm.
and Ashley chose the ring that Abe selected,
Hmm.
and Brent chose the ring that Ashley selected.
Right.
Ashley and Brent, and he asked her how she feels about their connection, and she responds that yes, there's a connection, but he has just shown her a glimpse of who he is, and there's so much more she has to learn. And then she goes on to tell him that he is an inspiration. She's impressed by him. And what did she say?
She wants more.
She thinks she can learn a lot from him. Now, stop me if I'm lying. When did they show us Brent being inspiring, impressive, and you want to learn anything but gain from him?
I don't know.
When did that happen?
I don't think it happened, at least not from my vantage point on camera. It may have happened off camera, but I would be cynical about that.
Learn from past mistakes.
Yeah,
Ashley is has a 15-year-old son,
she does.
and I'm sure she has had relationships from that time to now.
I would imagine,
You
yes.
mean to tell me she is gonna tell a man that, track what she says, you have given me a glimpse of who you are, but what I see is impressive, is an inspiration, and I can learn a lot from you. When that may or may not have been what Brent has showed us so far, because Brent is in a competition and he's been showing a whole lot of games so far.
Yeah.
So where did she come up with that fugazi of being inspired, being impressed, and the brother could teach her a thing or two? When did that happen?
I have no definitive answer about when that
Because
happened.
things
Some.
reveal more than it actually is,
Hmm.
and you become more vulnerable to a person who hasn't shown you anything, and the man will then take that information and treat you accordingly.
As far as a response from Brent, he said something that was, as far as I'm concerned, straight game.
Heard that line a time or two.
Oh, back in the day, huh?
Yeah,
They used to call it Mac.
you used to say that ish to, oh, tell the truth and shame the devil.
I ain't denying that. I ain't gonna stop you because you ain't wrong yet.
Oh, okay. She makes herself more vulnerable to him.
Yes,
Whatever she told him tells him that she is feeling him much more than he is feeling her
and
based
doesn't
on his
and
response.
doesn't get kind of like a reciprocal kind of understanding of where he is.
They kiss and they dance,
Pressed up against each
and
other.
she is putting that body on him,
Yeah, Bobby
and
yada
he
yada.
is,
Yeah.
doing what a man does when a woman puts her body
Mhm.
on him. So then we move to Miss Ashley and Abe. What is this pretensive sister telling this dude?
Addie, Aide says that he feels fortunate. He's glad to be back in the country. He had a great time at the wedding of his brother, and that he can see his wedding and someone like Ashley being a part of that experience with him. Yeah.
Yeah, and he said they are aligned as it relates to her love of family and his love of family. They can figure the other stuff out.
But you know what though? She was acting indeed giddy or childlike in the sense for her admiration of his physique. He
Yeah.
references big arms, and she was kind of like giggling a little
Yeah,
bit,
well,
you know.
no question she wants some of us a little more African in her. So, hey, it is what it is.
My goodness.
But then what?
I wasn't
Did,
expecting you to say it
did
like that.
did I say something wrong?
No,
Because I could be out there. Did I? Do you need to pull me back?
no,
Oh,
because you weren't on point with it.
okay.
I just
You
wasn't
can
expecting.
clearly see the
I,
woman wants the man.
I just wasn't expecting you to say it the way you said it. Not what you
Um.
said. It was the way you said it.
Okay. Well,
Kind of caught a brother by surprise. Yeah, she
then
says she can see a future with this man,
yes,
which was kind of interesting because she basically said the same thing with Matthew.
Matthew.
So which one is
She's
it,
what
Ashley?
he is what she likes. Brent met with Richie,
Mm-hmm.
and they're having a conversation. He asks Richie how she feels,
Mm-hmm.
and she said, well, family's a little different for her
Mm-hmm.
because she's 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
We find out she did freeze her egg
Mm-hmm.
in the hopes that she will eventually have children.
Mm-hmm. But she wants to be married first.
And Brent said sometimes you come in with the children already in place, but
Mhm.
sometimes people want to have their own.
Right. Mm.
And that's where they can align because Richie has no children
And
as well.
and you know what? And this is just my opinion, but that's what I think is the kind of scenario that Brent specifically is looking for. That's just my
Yes.
opinion.
Yes.
Kirk invites Ashley to begin, and Ashley starts off by choosing, I guess, the safe choice, right?
She chooses Abe, her African king.
Mhm.
So Abe was cordial. He seemed like a pleasant dude.
He is a pleasant dude from my vantage point. Brent makes his first choice, and chooses Ashley.
Yes, Ashley's second decision.
Yes, indeed.
And what does the sister do? Crying, and you wonder why is she crying. She don't care about these men. What makes her want to cry? And I see it's a pretensive thing. Right? Remember, she did that with Brian and Shuva.
Oh, it's performative art
It is
all the
all
way.
the way. Of course, she chooses Matthew. Steve is dispensable to her. So because she chose Steve to go home, that tells me that Matthew is still in the game. She may want to sleep with Abe, but Matthew got a dros.
The draws was the determining factor, very
See,
influential factor.
do you see anything else breaking off here?
No,
Huh?
no, no,
No, seriously.
no, I don't. I don't.
Okay.
No. Ashley did say that she has been on a 3 year, I guess, drought.
When she got up to hug Abe, there was fire in this girl's eyes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I
If
peeped
she could
that.
jump him right there and
Yep,
there,
yep.
she would have. Does she think a man misses those kind of
Hell
signals?
no, he ain't missing it for that. He's checking for that.
Thank you.
He ain't missing it.
Thank you.
She has to understand that, those of us who are viewing this are paying attention to what she said prior to this.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
we are.
So Steve is let go,
Right. And then on the other side,
and Steve clearly is grateful that he
so you
done
want to
with
tell, you want to tell this part?
he
Yeah,
done with this fugazi
right.
nonsense.
Because he peeped a little bit of Ashley's game and kind of
Yeah, he
realized,
knew it was
right. So now
nonsensical.
that he's been eliminated from the process, he's free to pursue who he really is
Whoever he
trying to
wants.
push up on.
So now Brent has to make a decision who
Right,
stays,
right.
whether it be Richie or
Or Melissa.
Melissa. Richie brought out the big guns.
What big you
And
talking about?
the same thing you were talking about this morning. Shall I be plain?
Make it plain for a brother.
Oh, okay. Um, where was I again?
Big guns.
You need to
I'm
stay
ignorant. I'm
focused.
ignorant.
You need to stay
Ignorant
focused.
boy. I can't. I can't.
You need to
Okay.
stay
Yeah,
focused.
you're right.
Anywho, Melissa
Hmm.
was cut loose.
Yeah, yeah.
So while she's doing her exit interview, who shows
Who
up
waiting?
but
No, waiting for.
Steve
Waiting for.
did what he said he would do. He pushed up on her.
Trying to
He
holler.
asked, not trying to holler, this brother was direct. He asked for a date. And at first Melissa was saying no, 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 no,
Oh, she was
but
playing. She was
while
playing.
she was saying no, her eyes and her body was saying yes, 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 yes,
Hmm.
yes.
They look like that this was kind of something that they could feel the energy of, and now that they were free to explore the opportunity, they were going to do so.
And Steve, to me, has the personality to deal with that 4-year-old.
I would agree with that.
I'm happy that both Steve and her found a connection. If we can make a prediction, I think that the best person suitable for Brent for to date, I am not sure about marriage situation, would be Richie.
Yeah, but who do you
But
think he's going to choose is a
he's
different
gonna
one.
choose, I think he's gonna choose, if he was
Ashley.
brave, Ashley.
In my opinion, I believe Brent will choose Richie because she is someone who does not come with kids already.
Hmm.
Okay, and that it would be from his vantage point a a chance to start with somebody who he can have a clean slate with, and that he can have his own kids with. What do you think on Ashley's side? Who do you think she'll choose?
Oh, she for me, she's gonna choose Abe,
Aid, yeah.
Aid,
Hmm.
oh, the African brother.
Okay.
She's gonna choose the African brother because, truth be told, he is closer to what she needs. And Matthew, in my mind, is already seeing that she could be flaky,
And manipulated too.
and he's gonna be turned off from that. like her the past men in her life.
I'm gonna kind of co-sign that decision. I believe that uh, for different reasons, uh, she finally has come to a point where she realizes what she want is personified by one guy, what she needs is personified by another guy, and she's going to go with what she needs.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully.